The power of transformation is in our love. We got each other, and God's got us. Power of transformation is in our love. We got each other, and God's got us.
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy most definitely in the building. Yeah. Come on. Dr. Carter, Pastor Carter, Elder Carter. Just don't call me collect. Ha. Dr. Carter, Pastor Carter, Elder Carter. Ha. Whatever Carter you wanna call me. Just don't call me collect. I'm trying to tell you, understand me? Yeah. And I'm here with my beautiful, wonderful, virtuous, voluptuous, extravagant, exuberant, my beautiful, I'm talking about the best wife in the world. You understand me? I'm talking about she's all that and a bag of Lay's potato chips, the plain ones with a pig lip. You understand me? The old school pig lip, not that new pig lip. I'm talking about the old school pig lip. You understand me? Yeah, that's mine. Mrs. Miko Carter, most definitely in the building. You understand me? That's mine. That's all mine. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Of course, I'm Miko. This is a crazy hospital remote.
I hear you. You understand me?
You don't like being called crazy?
Crazy in love, huh? That's what who say that? Beyonce? Mm-hmm. Beyonce say crazy in love. Crazy in love with you, desperately. And happily get away the thing that I gotta do. Come on.
Welcome back to the Transformation Podcast. Okay, so today we're diving into a special episode, right? And we're gonna be talking about who were you before you got married, right? Who were you before you got married? Yeah, this is going to be good. Who were you before you got married? Come on, Ramon. Who were you before you got married?
Well, let's be honest. You understand me? Let me get serious. Much obliged. Some of us lost ourselves in marriage, while others finally found themselves. So tonight's question is this. Who were you before you got married?
Yep, and how that version of you showed up or gotten lost since you said I do. All right, so listen, we're going to rewind the tape. Before marriage, I was a woman on a mission, right? I was focused, I was independent, vision-led, but I'll be honest. Got to be honest, right? I was also guarded. Scared to trust, and I didn't really know how to lean on anyone.
Don't look at me like that. You understand me? See, not me. You understand me? I was a fool. You understand me? I was a fool. I was out here chasing success. You understand me? But missing purpose. You understand me? You know your boy, you understand me? I was out here, you understand me? I had mess, you understand me? Some people, you may call it chasing purpose. I was chasing purpose, you understand me? I was trying to lure them on into the honeycomb hideout, you understand me? I knew how to entertain, but I didn't know how to connect, you understand me? Not in the way I was supposed to be connected, you understand me? I wore the provider badge, but my heart was spiritually unemployed. Oh, wait a minute, go. Oh, you understand me? That's a good one. You understand me? That's a good one.
You need to say that again. Spiritually unemployed.
Spiritually unemployed.
Now that's
spiritually.
That's a preach.
Spiritually unemployed. You understand me? Real talk. You understand me? Real talk, though. A lot of people walk into marriage thinking they're whole, right? They think they're whole. But they never took the time to figure out who they really are. You can't bring your best self, you understand me, to a union if you never met them.
And that's why we're talking about it tonight. Because some of y'all got married and lost your identity, right? Or you married someone and they didn't even know who you were.
Who they were.
Hell, they didn't even know who they was.
Yeah.
Shucks.
And I tell people all the time, listen, you understand me? I tell a lot of brothers, listen. You got to know who you is before you go try to find somebody else. You understand me? You got to be one-on-one with yourself. First of all, you got to need to be one-on-one with God. You understand me? So let's talk about what happens after the vows. You understand me? You go from me to we. And in that shift, some folks stop dreaming, stop building, stop creating. You become somebody's husband or wife and forget to still be you.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah. And especially for women, I think. I've talked to so many different wives, and they feel invisible now since they've been married. And I'm a wife, of course. I'm a mom. Jesus. I'm running the house. But who am I? Right? Who am I? Who am I?
You my wife.
I understand I'm
You
your
my
wife.
boo.
But who am I?
You my
Right?
dip. You my honeycomb.
You go from being a boss babe to burnt out, and nobody even asks you how you really doing at all. Nobody don't really care. So it's like,
Nah. Fellas, we go through it too. We walk in thinking we gotta be everything. And then feel guilty when we feel tired. See, marriage has a way of revealing the parts of you never worked on. You understand me? If you lack discipline, it shows. If you never healed, it shows louder. And I tell a lot of brothers, I say, listen, bro. bro. If you can't contain your flesh as a single man, you ain't gonna be able to contain your flesh once you get married. Straight like that.
but there's a blessing behind it because marriage can also refine you, right? There's fire. It can either burn out or be lit.
Why you keep looking at me? You understand
You
me?
don't want, we having a conversation, but you don't want me to look at you.
Yeah, I see you looking at me. You understand me? I see you looking.
But you don't want me to look at
You can look at me all you want. You understand me?
Shucks, I won't look at you again then.
Look
Shucks,
at
man,
me
I was
all.
just looking.
You understand me? Hey.
I mean, I won't look at him, y'all. I'm not going to look back at him.
So all jokes aside, you understand me? Let's go deeper, Let's go deeper. What did you sacrifice when you got married, and was it worth it?
That's a question. That's definitely a question. So what did I give up? Independent. I gave that up. I'm not as independent as I was. Now I feel like I can call on you to do certain things that otherwise I'd have had to do myself. I don't have to do that anymore, which is a good thing to be married and when you're independent and you ain't got to call. You ain't got to worry about doing everything on your own. I had to learn how to compromise. When you're by yourself, things usually go the way you want it to go. But when you're married, you got to kind of compromise. And that wasn't really easy, but I mean, me being the person that I am, it wasn't as hard as it can be for others. So the other good part about it, I gained a teammate, right? So instead of me doing things alone, I have somebody to experience and share things with. So that's a good thing as well. And,
I'm listening. You understand me?
Yeah.
So you said you gave up independence.
Yeah, I gave up
You
independence.
gave up. Now listen to me. She gave up independence.
I did.
But I come in saying I'm supposed to change a light fixture. I came up here and Miss America up on top of a table way in the ceiling putting in, changing out a whole life fixture, you understand me? Talking about Miss Independent, you understand? She still got doggone be doing some doggone stuff. She'll change the tire if I let her. I gave up selfishness, you understand?
But let me just say this. Let me just say this. Let me say this. I also gained a partner, and a cover. Where's my covenant? Like you like to say all the time.
Wait a minute, it's my turn.
I know it's your turn, but why? Where's my?
I'm just saying though, you was up there fixing a life fixture. Listen, look, it's all good.
Because if I ask my partner to do something, right? I still have some independence in me, but not totally. I'm giving it up a little bit.
Well, listen. I gave up selfishness. I had to die to my ego, but I gained accountability, purpose, vision. Our marriage brought me back to God, back to real joy. I wouldn't trade that. You understand? Even I was with God, but like I tell everybody, my wife is the first woman I've been faithful to. You understand me? I apologize to everybody else. You understand me? But God is good. You understand me? I was saved, but I wasn't all the way saved. I was straddling the fence. You understand me?
And guess what?
I was through God. He's still working on me to make this more than just a dream. The sun and the earth and Jupiter.
Let me
and
just
Mars.
say this: some sacrifices are healthy, and they got some that are silent killers. If you give up your dream, your identity, your voice, that's not a partnership at all. That's prisoner. For real. That's not a partnership at all. It's like you're in prison.
And some of y'all listening right now, you understand me? You're grieving. You're grieving a version of you that's gone. You understand me? But you don't have to stay there. You understand? My wife still, she the woman that she just switch up some things. I'm still the person I've always been. She still has her independence. Right? You understand? Even in her marriage, in this marriage, she still have her independence on things that she enjoy doing.
Yeah, because sometimes I like to have alone time. Like just, I don't know. But that's something I kind of gave up too, because when I was by myself, I would take time for myself and like just get a room or something just to get away from everything, and I can recalibrate my thoughts and everything. And another thing I gave up is, like certain things that I will wear. Like I gave that up. Don't make that face. I gave that up, but it was and in the beginning of me doing it, it was sort of a struggle, but not really that bad of a struggle, because I would put certain things on and I'll be like, I don't know if I should put this on, and then I'll ask him and he'll be like, what you think? If you gotta ask me, then that means you shouldn't even be wearing it. So over a period of time, I got relaxed with it, but then I felt like after a while of like changing that, I felt like a part of my identity was being lost, right? And over a period of time, I just was like basic. And I'm like, dang. And I had to like snap out of it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't have to really, let's go. So you said you was, you had stuff you used to wear now. What kind of stuff that was you used to be wearing? I don't know. I mean, just
onesies and stuff.
Just onesies and different things, and
stuff showing and all that stuff.
Like some things that have like a little bit of cleavage showing, shirts and stuff. But and not just that. Like I used to wear some things where a little bit of my stomach would be out or something, like. But everything was cute. It wasn't that bad. It was still classy. I mean, I still had a classy side to it. I mean, anything, but I just felt like, no skin. You can't show no skin. Nothing. Don't show anything. But I said all that to say this.
Thank the Lord for deliverance.
I started to feel like closed in at one point because of that. But I had to shake that, and I said I didn't, because I felt like I was probably losing some of my identity. I had to go back and reshape that to where I didn't feel like I was losing my identity. So I just got back into it. And it was like one day I just realized, and I'm like, I don't like how I've been feeling. And I sure enough, I feel better now because I still, I still dress cute. You know what I'm saying? But I eliminate some things. I might have a shirt that show a little cleavage. I mean, not that much. Just a very little, just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. Not extravagant or nothing like a single woman will wear, of course. But my stomach out and all that stuff. I don't wear stuff like that no more, and it's okay because that come with age. So
so you just want to let it all hang out.
No, I don't want to let it all hang out.
All out. You understand me in the room. In the bedroom.
You always got to talk about something in the bedroom.
No, I'm just saying, though. You understand me? Hey, listen. You understand me?
Every time.
I'm just a strong believer. I don't think that your woman should be out there in the street. Everything that's for you, everybody in the street don't need to be seeing it.
Well, I agree with that too.
Everybody in the street don't need to be seeing. That's why, one thing about in the Islamic culture, those women covered up. She don't show her hair to nobody but her husband. You understand me? That's why they be veiled up. Her husband. That's why they everything covered. They covering everything. You ain't gonna see nothing but eyes. You understand? Well, y'all gonna see Michael Carter, you understand me, with a whole doggone curtain on, you understand me? You ain't gonna see nothing but eyes.
No, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
You see all her eyes. You understand me? All right, I'm just playing.
So let's talk about the R word, regret. Right? Some people carry quiet regrets about who they used to be, but I want to say this. Growth doesn't mean betrayal, right? Just because you've evolved doesn't mean you're abandoned who you were. And that's kind of what I just discussed. Like, just because,
So you still have some regret?
I felt like it was
I'm talking about right now. I ain't talking about back then. I'm talking about.
You talking about?
You just said something about quiet regret.
Right. Some people have that. They have a quiet regret. So yeah, basically it was a quiet regret. I'm like, dang, like I can't even wear certain stuff. But then that's what I said. I had to. It's not really that I felt like it was a real, it's not a real regret, so to speak, right? It's growth. I was growing.
All right, facts.
It's growth, baby. It's growth.
All right.
Not really regret. I was feeling something, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was regret. I was able to deal with it, and I look at it as growth. Because I didn't really abandon who I was. I just changed some things up for the better.
Well, facts. God doesn't waste anything, not even your past. That bold, wild, passionate version of you. You might need a little of the, you might need a little of it now, you don't need the onesies. You don't need the onesies and all that stuff there. You understand me? Like a cat suit and all that stuff there.
No.
I think a cat suit is that's the club stuff right there. That's a ballroom stuff right there. That's somebody standing on Shepherd Highway.
But I remember we did the podcast with Liberty and we were joking about the skirts. I remember we both pulled out one of our old outfits and I think I had an all into one outfit and
a leopard.
And she had a leopard skirt, and her person was like, nope, get rid of it. And you was like, yep, toss the ones, and we was like, what? This stuff is cute. Like, y'all want us to toss this stuff? This stuff is still cute.
Yeah,
but we tossed it.
No man don't want his woman out there in the street showing on everything. You understand me? And that's just the bottom line.
And no woman want her man to be looking at the woman that is showing everything either.
Yeah,
that part.
Must oblige.
Yeah, that part, right? So you're allowed to evolve, right? But don't lose your essence in it, right? Bring your full self to your marriage, not just your service. But your soul. Bring your soul.
Just let your soul glow.
Bring your whole self to your marriage. Your whole self. Faith check.
All right. Look, here's your spiritual checkpoint. When was the last time you asked God to remind you who you are outside of titles. You understand? You know, I know. For me, I always had me a spiritual checkpoint. You understand me? It's like, who are you? Like on this past weekend, when I had preached on a sermon entitled "Who Are You?" And I was reminded of T'Challa in Black Panther when he was getting beat up by Jabari, and Jabari was whipping, go whatever his name is, was whipping him behind. No power, no fear. You just the boy, just the man. You know, and his mama said, show him who you are. And he came back, boom. You understand? You know, everybody get that spiritual checkpoint. Listen, I know who I am. You understand me? I'm the man of the, I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. I don't even worry about titles. You understand me? You know, I'm Ramon Carter. You understand? If you want to give me a title, praise the Lord. I have titles, but you know, it's irrelevant depending on where I'm at.
So a good thing, I think, for us, you know, as married couple, is to journal it, right? Journal it, pray over it. Ask yourself, who was I before I got married? Right? And then who am I now? So who was I before I got married? And who am I now? Who is God calling me to become? Right? So that's something you can actually journal, those three things. And I think it'll bring some light to where you come from, where you are now, and where you intending to go.
Yeah, because I know the man that I am now, right? I'm not the man I used to be. As a matter of fact, I'm a better man. And let me know, I'm God's man, right? I have the calling, but I wasn't obedient to the call. But now the man that I am today, I have walked into the man that I am today. I grew into the man that I am today. It didn't happen overnight. It took years, right? And only once I got with my wife, you know, everything that's came into, you know, to fruition, everything that's come to pass is like, you know, I've grown, you know, I've matured. When I was a child, I thought as a child, understood as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And to the couples listening, talk about this. You understand me? Go back in time together. Remind each other what first attracted you. You understand? Who were you when you met? You understand? You might fall in love all over again.
Yeah.
I remember when she came in the office, you understand me, with the white pants on. I knew her, but I didn't really know her. You understand me? She came in my office on 3rd floor, Southern University campus. You understand? Southern University in New Orleans. And you know, she wanted to write a book and all that. She didn't write the book yet. You understand me?
I started it.
That was years ago. She
I
didn't write the
started
book
it.
yet.
Listen,
she wanted to learn how to
if
do,
y'all know,
trade
writing
them
a book is not
talking
easy.
around this
All
sucker.
right.
And she was doggone all that stuff there. And I said, dang, when she sat in the office, I'm behind my computer, and I'm like, dang, I didn't know she looked that good. I seen her on social media, and I remember way back in the days, people don't know, I've been knowing her, not really knowing her, but way back in the day. I'm talking, you go back way in 1995, you understand? But I ain't never, you know, I was just a street boy. You understand me?
Yeah, God
That's
know
it.
what he was doing, because if he'd came at me back in 95,
You know, so
nothing would have shook.
yeah, you know, so it's all good. You understand? It's all good. So I just, you know, I got her now.
But what you just said was really important about going back and remembering who the person was before you met them. I'm not gonna lie, that really works. Like for real. Like I will go back and look at pictures of us, and even like if I'm upset or mad about something, and I just go, if I'm in my phone and I scroll back, or even if I'm not upset, if I just happen to go back in my phone and look at pictures of us back, it brings joy to my heart. Like it'll put a smile on my face, and it'll shift my whole mood, because it remind me of why, you know, I did say I do. why I decided to date this man knowing he was shorter than me. Why you looking like that, sir?
Huh? That's the thing, froze or something.
So, but yeah, that works. So I think everybody should take a trip back down memory lane to kind of, make you remember why you decided to be with the person that you're actually with. Yeah. Why are you smiling like that?
I was just down memory lane. You understand me?
Oh, you went down memory lane?
Yeah, I went down there when I had cooked for you. You understand me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I cooked a famous meal. You understand?
And you want to know what's crazy? I want to say this too, because a lot of times, and it just came to my head just now. A lot of times we get complacent when we get married, and so I found myself doing that a little bit too. Of course. It ties into, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me say this. When we first met, Ramon and I used to go out a lot. We used to do a lot of things together, right? And since we've been married, we don't do as much. Like everything we do now is mainly on a business side. So we don't do a whole lot of stuff that's really, really fun. Everything we do, we make fun what we're doing inside the business, but like we don't really have fun like how we used to do. We used to walk in the French Quarter. Well, we don't live in the French Quarter.
we don't live down there no more.
We don't live down there no more. But there's pretty places that we can actually go. Here where we at now, but
so we go somewhere.
We go places. But what I'm saying is, we used to do it a lot when we first met,
and I'm
making a point here because a lot of times when couples get together, they do a lot of things, right? Mm-hmm. And then when they get married, they get complacent, and then they don't do the things that they used to do, and you don't really realize that's taking place until you sitting somewhere bored or you just like a thought in your mind like, dang, like we don't really do nothing.
You be getting bored?
And
you be getting bored?
And
I just asked you a question. Y'all said you be getting bored. So that's the question. She be getting bored. She talking all that stuff. But when I talk, hey baby, let's go do this. Oh, I don't feel. I'm tired. You understand me? Because she be working with them children all day and all that stuff.
But no.
The weekend come.
I like planned events. I like planned. I do spontaneous too. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's like Ramon picked the worst time in the world to do something. He'll pick time where my hair ain't together, I'm looking a hot mess, to say, come on, let's go do X, Y, and Z. But I got a trick for him now, though, because I'm always put together now. But that's when I was going through my phase of my identity, not knowing who I was before I got married. I found myself again. But that has nothing to do with you. I mean, that don't necessarily has nothing to do with the spouse either. Mm-hmm. It has everything to do with you and the fact that you are in a title now. You're married. So it changes everything. Like, I was sliding around this house looking a hot mess and not thinking much of it for a period of time. And I had to shake. I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, I can't be doing this. Like, I got to put myself together. So I have myself looking like I'm about to go out, in the streets or something for when my husband come home.
I gotta call my boy Dr. Round 2. Give me that shake back sauce. Give me that shake back sauce.
Man, this man here.
The shake back. That shake back sauce. Come on. Ooh. Want to shake it. Shake it.
Wait, I'm a little confused. Is this advertisement?
Huh?
What is this? Are we advertising for the shake back sauce?
No, I just reminded of the shaking back. You understand me? That might be a paid commercial. You understand me?
So you were saying that were like referencing to me that I
you were saying shake, but you had to shake back, and I just
you just thought about the song.
And I was reminded about the shake back sauce. You understand me?
Well, yeah,
I gotta get some of that when I get to New Orleans. I gotta get some of that.
But that's a thing for us women too. You don't want, and even for men. Once you get married, you really get complacent. Like, you got to remind yourself that you got to keep up what you did in the beginning when you got with your partner versus just getting in a relaxed state and not doing it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be walking around in sweatpants all the time or looking like a housemaid all the time, every day, all day. Like, No, I don't think that's and for you men, you don't want to be walking around letting the hair grow out the top of your head, peach fuzz at the top of your doggone head, and not shaving. Why? Because you already married, you got a wife, ain't nobody watching me, ain't nobody looking for me. Yeah, but your wife is. Your wife want to see you looking good. Your wife want to smell you smelling good. I love when my husband come to bed smelling good. Oh my God, and he knows it. Oh, he knows it. This man, what a best cologne. He smells so good.
I put a little dip.
He know what he be doing.
Yeah, I know she gonna be all on me.
He know exactly what he be doing.
And she gonna be all on me when I put
like
this
a good
on.
smelling
You understand
man.
me? She gonna be all up on me. Yeah, for real. Yeah,
This man cuts up too bad. But yes, so I would suggest that we do a couples challenge.
All right.
Right? And we're gonna post throughout the week about the challenge. And we want each of the couples that's watching to take a 20-minute, just write a letter.
Take 20 minutes alone to write a letter to your pre-marriage self.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Then read it to each other.
And read it to each other. Mm-hmm. Don't take my thought. That was my thought.
Oh, all right.
Nah. Do you have something you want to say outside of that?
Oh, no, I ain't got nothing to say.
Oh, okay. Well, don't take my thought like that. But, yeah, I think every couple should, just each person, just sit down. You sit down as a wife and write down who you was before you got married and who you are now. Right? And your spouse could do the same thing. Your husband, he can write down the same thing. A lot of men don't like to do all this kind of stuff. They look at this as some corny behavior. But, I mean, if you with the right partner, he not going to mind doing that with you. Especially if you have somebody that's fun. And most people, for the most part, you got to figure out a way to get your partner to do certain things if they're not, in that area. That's another topic though, but yeah. So
yeah, that's gonna uncover some stuff. But remember, healing happens in honesty.
Yeah. Well, that's if you got some type of traumatic stuff going on from your past versus who you are now. But I get it. So if this episode has spoke to you, do us a favor and share. Right? Share with someone that needs to hear this message. And if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. Leave a review if you like. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all know what time of the day it is. Y'all know what time of day it is.
And don't forget to follow us at the Couples Podcast. Mm-hmm. Go to the website, www.thecouplespot.com.
I didn't check today.
The Couples Pot on the Couples Pot on Facebook, the Couples Pot on Instagram.
And YouTube.
And on YouTube.
Y'all watching us here
the Couples
on
Pot.
YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. Shucks. Praise the Lord. Jesus wept. You understand?
Yes. And stay tuned till next week. Stay transformed.
And stay together.
Yeah.